In 2008, three complete strangers were put together with the hopes of creating the greatest Sony podcast ever heard. Today, unable to stop podcasting, the show survives as connoisseurs of dick and fart jokes. If you need Sony news, are not deaf, and don't want to die of boredom, maybe you can listen to BigRedBarel Blu.
Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of the BigRedBarel podcast, or PlayStation podcast. I already screwed it up.
Still sounds weird.
It is official. We are switched. We switched teams.
Yeah, we saved up the money for the surgery. Changes over. Bandages are off. We're ready to get banging.
Rothbart, how many times have you switched teams this week?
I'm a switch hitter, so as many times as possible.
Yeah.
But not the switch hitter in the way that you're getting excited about.
Yeah, we're talking sports metaphors. I don't know what Frawlz is thinking.
Yeah, I do, and I wish I didn't. So, anyway, yes, you can, if you subscribe to the old podcast through the RSS feed or iTunes, especially iTunes, what you need to do to make sure you keep getting the new show is what I like to call the Frawlz Special. And that's do nothing.
Nothing.
Not a thing. And you will continue to get the podcast. Now, there was a little hiccup in the switchover, so all the old episodes are no longer available via iTunes, but we do have a link. All the episodes are available. You'll be able to download them manually, and every new episode...
If you really want to go back, do you think they really want to go back and listen?
Some people are gluttons for punishment, and they like to do that. I can't imagine, because, I mean, that's 170 episodes at about 45 minutes an episode. That's a lot of show.
That's a lot, yeah.
That's a lot of show.
Yeah. But I can tell you that they are pretty entertaining.
Yep.
I've never gone back and done it, but from what I've heard, it is.
But it's pretty sweet that we can just type in BRB Blu without an E on iTunes now and get the show to pop up. And it's got a nice new intro and everything.
You know, I need to actually check the description that he put in there. Because he sent me, Dave sent me this thing to oh, you know what? It was not the iTunes description. He was working up a new intro for our show. I'll share this right in the show in case it happens. I could explain that I protested from the beginning. He mentioned this phrase that we get by on a steady diet of dick and fart jokes. Now,
that sort of implies that we're eating penis.
I asked him to change that to dick jokes and fart jokes, but then I remembered Frawlz was on the show, and I think that's the way it ended up.
Well,
so
wait, who said this?
So the new intro, I haven't even heard it yet. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe he's too busy and he won't actually do one. But anyway, that's what it is. So also joining us as usual, we've got PacMan Polar Bear.
What's going on, everybody? We finally have started the new release window of all the new games. So we got Kingdoms of Amalur dropped this week, and the Darkness 2 dropped this week. And Darkness got mediocre reviews. Basically got the same reviews Darkness 1 got.
Say it ain't so.
And
no way. Didn't deliver?
Kingdoms of Amalur got semi-decent reviews, but, you know, I don't know anyone who's played it and who got it on Tuesday and has been playing it who's actually died yet. Like, regardless of if you're playing on a hard, I mean, this is a game where it's going to take you a long time to do everything, but you're not really going to be challenged doing it. Because, I mean, the combat and the overpowered nature of it means that you can basically just smoke everything.
Frawlz, do you play your games on hard?
I play hard on games.
Yes, that's
Does that count?
Yes, that was the question.
But some of the demos were good. Syndicate, the co-op demo for that was pretty solid. If you're interested in that game, try the co-op. Just pay attention to the on-screen pop-ups are kind of hard to read right now for whatever reason. To heal someone, I think is L2 if you're trying to figure it out, or maybe it's L1. And I played that Azira's Wrath game with the guy with 6 arms, and I'm still like, what the f*** is this game? Because it's sort of like a button masher, and it's sort of like an arcade shooter, because there's this shooting mechanic that they've built into it, and at the same time, it's basically one big boss battle after boss battle that sort of plays out like a heavy button masher / QuickTime event / arcade shootery type thing / mini movie. I mean, it's almost worth getting just because it's not like anything else out there right now. And that's all I got.
That is like the worst endorsement I've ever heard.
Yeah, I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Well, I mean, like I enjoyed all those parts. I'm just not sure if they can keep that up for an entire game. Like I had just the way it played and how fast paced it was and how much they put into everything. I can't imagine that game's going to turn out to be very long. You know, if it drops and it's pushing more than 6 or 7 hours as an action game, then I'll probably definitely get it. But I wouldn't be surprised if it came in on the very short side.
It's the old fast pace versus not lasting very long.
Well, I mean, they could do what MMOs do, and they could just make sure that, you know, like before you get to anywhere, you have to walk down a really, really long corridor for no other reason, just to make sure you take time running down that. Speaking of
Oh, he goes for the segue. Also joining us, we have Frawlz.
Hey, it's me. So
you've been ripped on like 5 times before your intro.
Yeah, I wasn't even listening, to be honest with you. Like, you're talking about games nobody cares about, and release windows. There's no other good games. I mean, dude, come on. There's some pretty good games out there, but I went to the tester premiere party. And I tweeted about it.
You heard there would be testes there?
There was plenty of testes there, but the funny part is that I tweeted about it. I go, going to the tester premiere party, and then everybody's like, congratulations. I can't wait to watch it. I'm like, I never made it. So I had to relive that whole thing again. Everybody really thought that it was on the show. They're like, oh, you made it. I had no idea. No, I didn't. I wasn't on the show.
So you were that guy at the party that everybody was like, oh, you almost made it.
Yeah, the producer comes up to me. Right? He's up and says, hey, you're Frawlz, right? I go, yeah. He goes, yeah, man. Yeah, you're on the website. I go, yeah. He goes, all right. I go, yeah, and Ego Raptor was like standing. I got some Ego Raptor stories for you guys later, but Ego Raptor's standing right there, and he goes, yeah, so you were top 10, right? I go, yeah. Like, he's made it seem like the top 10 was like amazing, you know, like I was supposed to be on some high about being so, like, you know, blessed to be in the top 10. But hey, listen, I didn't make it, so not that big of a deal. But I guess at the end of this, I'll talk a little bit more about the experience and what happened and how the event turned out and why this season is probably going to suck as much as the other ones. So. Yeah. Anyways, go.
So long story short is you struck out with everybody there.
I did. I went home with myself. 2-hour drive.
But did you put out when you got home?
I did. Actually, I tried to give myself Roadhead to prepare, but it did not work.
Oh, man.
I'm not that flexible. The wheel is in the way.
So, guess what I did today, guys?
What'd you do?
I don't know. You pre-ordered a Vita?
Wow. Can I have my thunder back, please?
Well, I got an email like, dude, you don't understand. You're on like a spending spree like nobody. This is like Christmas all over again for you.
No. Well, I got my tax money. I got my taxes back, okay? And I had...
already? Oh, man. Dude, remind me never to let you like handle my money.
No, the day I got my W-2, I filed my taxes. What's wrong with that?
I gotta do that. I got like 3 taxes I gotta file, like 4 different states.
Well, anyway, I also had almost half of it in Best Buy Reward Zone bucks, so I only ended up paying $165. But the reason I wanted to bring this up is I learned something today about the Vita models, and I was not going to get a 3G model, but I ended up actually ordering one. And the reason why is because initially... well, they weren't very clear on the features. Nobody said, by the way, if you don't get the 3G one, you don't get GPS at all. So that was one of the features that I kind of thought might eventually be useful. I don't have any, for sure things today. I mean, if it's just for mapping, I'm going to be able to do Google Maps on my phone better than the Vita, but some of the other apps might actually use it. But the new bundle that they put out, I didn't really pay much attention to it, but it was like, 2 weeks ago they announced it. It's the 3G version with a 8 gig card and 1 PSN game and a month free 3G, which I don't really care about, for $299. Which basically what they're doing is they're throwing in an 8 gig card and a game, and a month of 3G access for the price that they originally announced, just the PSP for. So I went ahead and did that. I probably will not ever pay for a month of 3G. I've got the option, but I wanted the GPS feature, and so that's that.
Yeah, and the game sort of softens the blow anyway.
Well, and the early adopter bundle, which was the 3G model and a 4 gig card and little deviants and something else, was like $350. Well, a 4 gig card is pretty useless. 8 gig, I can at least get a couple games on there if I decide to buy them downloadable. But if I buy the physical games, 8 gig might last me a while. But
well, how would you feel? Because I know that if you I know that some phones, if it downloads the data from your GPS location, like it'll find out where you are using a satellite, but the GPS chips will require like some sort of a data connection in order for you to get the right map, if you're looking at a map or something like that. And sometimes you kind of need that. So are you gonna be pissed if he requires 3G? If you
GPS shouldn't require 3G. To view maps and stuff, you're going to have some data connection. But, eventually I'm probably going to tether it to my phone through Wi-Fi. So that will be a data connection, but I wanted it to have GPS.
Did you read the article Dan put out on the site about, at least in Europe, being able to just swap out the SIMs on your PlayStation Vita so you don't have to stick with the whatever their number one suggestion was?
I did not.
See, that's pretty cool.
So you can go to another carrier, you mean?
Yeah. Because basically what Dan did is he walked into one of the game stores in the UK, picked up a demo unit, and just slapped in one of his SIM cards, and away he went. It was no problem. So, the reality is now, because I'm not going to have enough to get it day one, but the reality is, I think everyone's already knows that we're looking at a slim type situation coming up within a year, or not even.
No! I don't care if it's slim, but if it's got video out, somebody's going to bleed. So
there's a couple things about it that are already weird. I'm just curious to see if there really is going to be a big difference in a North American release versus Japan.
A big difference in what, sales numbers?
Yeah, because I think we talked about it before, that I think that unlike the PSP, the PSV seems much more specifically targeted at North Americans.
So far, I think once that Monster Hunter title comes out in Japan, they'll have like a late 2012 launch. Japan
will buy an entire console for one game en masse like crazy. And it's just unfortunate that was it 3DS? Was it the 3DS or the Wii who got the newest Monster Hunter game?
I don't care.
Anyway, it's unfortunate they got the newest one and not the PSV.
Yes. So we should probably get onto this agenda. The first topic kind of ties into Japanese companies.
Not to make fun of the Japanese language.
That's racist.
Yeah, you need to take that back right now.
I just said I'm not making fun of the Japanese language.
Sony, a Japanese company populated by Japanese employees that speak the Japanese language, that could not understand a damn word you just said.
They
lost $2 billion in the third quarter of this year. Now, what I found interesting was I whipped out my calculator to find out how much a day that is.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, I call it the calculator too, because I work out with it. Anyway, $22 million a day they were losing. How do you let that go unstopped for an entire quarter and not just say...
I don't know. How do you sit there and just be like, how do you go home at night knowing you just lost $22 million?
Every day. I suppose it gets easier over the course of the quarter. That 15th or 16th day. But damn.
Did you include weekends?
That is... What I did is I divided 2 billion by 90. So yeah, that is every single day.
That's a lot. But mind you, Sony isn't just PlayStation.
That's almost $1 million an hour.
That's like baseball player money.
That makes me ill thinking about it.
Imagine the Best Buy reward cards you could have gotten.
They promoted Kazurai to their general CEO, and basically he's putting Sony on a diet. Instead of the different business areas or whatever components telling management what products are coming out, he's just going to go in and say, oh, these are the 5 things you're working on, that, and that. Yeah, just stop working on it. You're just coming out with these 2 things. And he goes over to the TV people and he's like, you're coming out with these 20 TVs? No, you're coming out with these 4 TVs. And he's going around just slashing slashing product lines, I guess, and really going to slim down their offerings.
It's good, man. Sony's all over the place.
They really are.
Well, especially with the TVs, they lost their goddamn mind there for a minute.
This is part of my bonus content topic.
Oh, so what you did for your bonus question was you actually went to the first topic on the agenda and said, I'm going to make this the bonus topic. I see what you did.
I'm not... No, it's not... Come on, man. No, you know I have a bonus content topic.
But I don't know it because you didn't share it with us.
Speaking of bonus content, how do people get that? Is the app transition over too?
The feed is the same. So for the time being, it will continue to pull in our show, even though it says Sarcastic Gamer. The feeds are our shows. And I imagine the app will be released in the future for people that haven't purchased it with the correct branding. So that's all I know.
The BRB.
Just making sure people know what's going on.
Yep. Anyway, moving on. Gotham City Impostors.
There's no noisemakers, which I'm pretty happy about this episode.
There's no noisemaker. I had to reach over for a second.
Nice. You brought that on yourself, Frawlz.
No, I actually took the phone away from my ear that time.
You psychic.
When he says, "Oh, I have to reach for it," I figured something was coming up, but I just needed to find out if there was, because didn't you put some other things on?
Oh yeah, I have a huge list of noisemakers, but I was just realizing I need to pop the top off of my melon burst and actually apply that little horn, so I can actually disperse smells and make that noise at the same time.
You should use that. Put the melon burst. That's what I said during the episode 2 weeks ago. It's I think you should insert the melon burst into the air horn and then put a lighter at the end of it.
I just stop listening every time you say, "Hey Roth, I think you should insert," and that's it. It blanks out.
Ring turns
Everything
off.
You close every orifice, don't you?
Back to the agenda. Gotham City Impostors. A lot of people like that. My kids liked this game when we played it at PAX. I looked at it and I was like, that looks stupid. But everybody's played it's liked it. So people were playing the demo on the PS3. They were buying it. And Sony was saying, well, take your money. Enjoy the demo. And it's not updating the demo to the full version for some people. So
that's lame.
Yeah, the Warner Brothers guys, I think that's who's doing this. They're taking PSN IDs, checking records, and I think they're fixing it on a case-by-case basis. So just be a little wary if you buy that. They've still got to work something out.
Besides the fact, it's Gotham City Impostors. I mean, if you have fun with it, you'll have fun with it. I just I'm not seeing anything really appealing.
Well, it's not Batman. Let's just get that out of the way.
It's not Batman.
They're imposters.
They're imposters.
Speaking of no segue at all, this next topic.
This is actually the Jaffe cast.
This is the Jaffe cast. So, David Jaffe left Sony. He created, with Scott Campbell, he created Eat, Sleep, Play. They were all gung-ho. They signed this big deal to whip out 3 games for Sony. The first game they did was the Twisted Metal whatever. Was it Twisted Metal Black or something? It was the redo of the PS2 game, or the PS2 game on the PSP, or what the hell was it?
I think it was Black, wasn't it?
Who knows? I'll Google it.
No. It was the PSP game they brought to the PS2. Twisted Metal. I'm spacing the name of it. Anyway, it was one that nobody paid attention to. So their second game was true Twisted Metal. They were coming out. They were revamping it directly for the PS3, no holds barred. And basically, since it's gotten near release, all hell's breaking loose. So basically, the game went gold. Eat, Sleep, Play laid off 8 people. And this all happened in just the last 3 or 4 days. It was announced that Jaffe was leaving Eat, Sleep, Play to start his own new studio. And
even newer.
Yes, newer. And
this time he's only going to do half a game and leave.
Eat, Sleep, Play is now focusing on iPad and iPod games, not console games. David Jaffe's embracing both console and browser-based gaming, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, and his one of the things he said about moving to a new company was that he didn't want to be directing games from
300 miles away,
remote locations. Like, he wasn't always actually at the locations where the games were being developed. But it is weird that Twisted Metal is just coming out. They start laying people off. He's leaving. They're talking about, making, pansy games. And there's no DLC plans at all.
No
whatsoever.
sequels, no DLC.
The DLC
nothing.
will be on the iPad.
Which has not diminished my interest in Twisted Metal at all. Because if you were able to play it before it got taken off the PlayStation Store, the demo, beta, whatever, was actually really, really, really fun.
Well, some of the people online were commenting to Jaffe, hey, I know you had that 3-game deal, and we're just internet people, but we count 2 games you worked on. Where's the third one? Turns out the deal was 3 games or 3 years, whichever came first. And I can't help but feel a little suspicious when Twisted Metal got delayed last year, when it got pushed to February. I wonder if that was a tactic to push it out so they didn't have to commit to starting some third game.
I played it and it wasn't ready. Where was I? Where did I play it?
It was at PAX. I played it. I didn't have nearly the problems you did. You had it crash on you and everything. You hardly got to play it at all.
Yeah.
But
so
anyway, that's not where the craziness stops. Earlier this week, David Jaffe was interviewed by GameTrailers.com, and now he claims the clip that caused all the controversy was completely edited out of context and just...
Oh, it totally is. You can totally see the last little bit where he talks about what we're going to talk about, that that they cut it.
The fact of the matter is he said this stuff, and there's nothing I need to do to describe it other than to read the quote word for word. So
here we go.
Here's David Jaffe. He says, I tell you why, Twisted Metal, February 14th, Valentine's Day. It's a great, great romantic gift. If you have a lady friend and she really wants to know the best game ever, and she will give you a fucking blowjob. If you play this game, if you let her win Twisted Metal split screen, she will suck your dick. That is what David Jaffe said in front of a camera to Game Trailers.
How does that get taken out of context?
mind you, he didn't say it all in a row like that. But yeah, he totally did say that.
So, damn.
It's I don't know what you want to say, sexist, chauvinistic, whatever.
Yeah, it was not misogynistic, which people accused him of. He wasn't. He was just being blunt and vulgar. Which, if you're surprised that Jaffe's blunt and vulgar at this point, then you're an idiot.
You've never actually seen or read anything he's ever done.
But, I mean, that said, I'm still buying the game on Valentine's Day to test this theory out.
I'm still buying the game. I actually thought that was funny. I think it's even funnier to watch kids who don't know what misogyny or, masochism or any of that sort of words. I mean, just some of the posts that were getting mad at him. I mean, they were getting, and especially since most of the people getting mad at Jaffe were dudes.
I don't have a girl to play split screen
dudes
with.
getting offended on behalf of women, and going out of their way to be douches about it. It was just ridiculous.
Well, I can tell you, if my roommate brings Twisted Metal home on Valentine's Day,
he's scoring, aren't you? You're gonna help him out.
He is definitely. What?
You're gonna help him out.
I might have to. If he lets me win on split screen, there's going to be issues.
Frawlz.
I'm like, fine, here we go. Third time tonight. Damn.
All right, so let's see here.
I'll suck your dick.
I want to mute your line.
Oh, and Jaffe promised that the demo for Twisted Metal would be up till the 14th, and yeah, it's already been taken down.
So Ted Pryce, CEO of Insomniac, who basically, Insomniac was the poster child second-party studio. I mean, they weren't owned by Sony, but they did nothing but Sony for a long time. He's singing a different tune these days. He says that, developers need the widest possible audience, and that is not console specific. You need to go multi-platform so you can take your stab at, grabbing gamers in general.
I explained that many times over the course of the years of this podcast.
Well, it's true, but I mean, they were getting subsidized by Sony, so it's not simply as if they're artificially only on one platform. They were getting money anyway, but I'm sure they want more money. But he said even these days, though, if you just work with Microsoft or Sony, you're still likely working in a multi-platform environment, because if you're working for Sony, there's a good chance you're working on the PlayStation Portable or PlayStation Vita and the PS3, and if you're working with Microsoft, you're probably working 360, Windows, or Windows Phone. So, but the market is just growing, and he says he could see a day, he's not saying there will be a day, but he could see a day that there's not really console exclusives by any third party. And I don't think that's any surprise.
No, I mean, it could come down to the point where the only real exclusives you see are launch titles.
And first party, but...
Yeah, and first party. I mean, there'll always be the in-house.
Right. So... But you know what is surprising? This next topic. I've been talking... Frawlz, you love to make fun of me for the kiddie games, but I've been talking about Skylanders. You guys, probably neither of you have played it, but Activision has sold over 20 million Skylanders figurines. The shelves are bare. Next time you go in your gaming department, they will have a spot for it, but it will be empty.
How many of those are your purchases?
We got the 3 Skylanders starter kit, and I think we bought her 2 or 3 additional ones, and then I went out to get one, and I can't find any in town. I mean, I haven't looked a lot, but I've looked like 3 or 4 places. They're gone.
Oh, they're sold out in Oregon.
They're coming with some new ones soon, but they announced officially, this was a rumor before, but they officially did announce Skylanders Giants. The figures are going to be twice the size and twice the price, so we're looking at about $15 figures, which is getting into the bend me over zone. But Skylanders Giants...
Where's that zone again?
You know that zone. They behave a little differently in the games than the regular Skylanders. They can do environmental damage. They can knock over things that a regular Skylander can't. They can pull the islands closer together. They can form bridges with the environment and stuff. And the portal works from Skylanders to Skylanders Giants. They're coming out with some other Skylanders that aren't giants that somehow light up when they get close to the portal. I don't know exactly how that works. But... there's a lot of Skylander stuff. I think they realized that they were onto something too late into the cycle, and they couldn't scramble fast enough to fill the shelves up. So they're losing money. Hopefully they can get this stuff back out and keep the quality up.
And they're making crazy money off this, because the cost to make the game versus the amount of money they're pulling in for what it takes to get the extra Skylanders is crazy.
Well, plus just if you have kids, they lose stuff. What a better way to have a product line than to have tiny little things that you can lose and have to buy more of. So, whoever did that at Activision and Toys for Bob, those guys, they're smart.
Schuber Schmat.
SMART.
Frawlz, new firmware update for the PS3. I know you're excited.
No.
This actually makes big advancements in the web browser. So
it's not just security purposes?
Yes, your one priest, one nun will now actually load on the PS3.
Now we're talking. Is it only one priest, one? I thought it was like one priest, 2 nuns.
Don't go to that site.
I thought that was the site.
Don't look that one up. It's bad.
Why not? Safe search off.
It's so bad.
Everybody have safe search off. I'm going to do a song about that.
Anyway, I was reading some results. The ACID 3 test, which is a test that measures a web browser's rendering versus... I don't know how they can do that remotely, but it generates a score. 100 is perfect. With the old browser, the PS3 would get 20 out of 100. With the new browser, after the 4.1 update, it gets 99 out of 100. And
that's quite the improvement.
There's an HTML5 test that before the patch, it scored a 1, and after the patch, an 80. I don't know what the scale is on that one, though. I'm assuming it's 100 as well, but maybe it's not. And
interesting.
The only other difference in the firmware that I can think of that I saw is that it syncs the time now every time you log in to your PSN account automatically, whereas you had to manually tell it sync with the internet before. And the more I thought about this, I think maybe this might be some sort of somehow it might be related to some kind of piracy thing. I don't know if there's any kind of date bugs or something, but now automatically every time it syncs the time with the internet as soon as you log in. But
yeah, you know what? It could be just them, just in case somehow this affects something.
I don't know, but
well, I can tell you, I think that then they changed the name of some stuff too. Like it's not like your friends list or something like that. They changed some things on that end.
Well, they changed the name of the PlayStation Network. It's now the Sony Entertainment Network.
They're trying to make it more streamlined with the launch of the Vita. That's why they're doing all these name changes. So
well, there were some changes in the 4.0. There was the media sync for the Vita, but the 4.10 I'm not sure. The Vita itself got a firmware update that we might get to later. I'm not sure, but anyway, the next topic down was the PlayStation Network name change. I don't really care. It's a name.
Yeah, I mean that's literally all that happens.
Yep. So,
well, that's good. So they changed the browser and get new names.
Well, it was a significant browser update. There was a list. I didn't bother writing down what, but a bunch of sites that didn't work before work now, and it seems like most sites work.
Who uses the browser seriously though? Like nobody does. Like the browser sucked in the beginning and it sucked for like 3-4 years after, and now all of a sudden. Now they started to change it, and
it's still the best browser you can get on a game console.
It's the only web browser you can get on a game console.
We has Opera. True that.
That's just stupid.
All right, so let's move on to some PSV news as I flip the page of my agenda.
Even with the new BigRedBarel, you're not going to... You keep printing out the agenda.
I have to have a piece of paper with the stuff on it, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
Sorry.
Because you keep sending me these links during the show.
The screams of trees give him his power.
That's right.
The screams of trees. All right, go.
Even though the PSV is not launched in the U.S., the U.S. PSV store is up. If you somehow have a PlayStation Vita, you can buy stuff in the U.S. electronically right now. Yay? I don't know. The early adopter package comes out in 5 days on Valentine's Day. So, I don't know.
Happy Valentine's Day, honey. I spent the money I was going to spend on you on this.
In the grand scheme of things, playing and losing at Twisted Metal and getting a blowjob or buying a PlayStation Vita, I think I could wait another week and get it when it launches for everybody.
All of the above.
PacMan wants them all.
Yep. I want a blowjob while playing Twisted Metal on my Vita. That can't happen.
That actually does sound pretty awesome. Just as long as you're not involved in any way.
What are you doing? That's not fair.
All right, so Metal Gear Solid HD is coming to the Vita, which actually interests me. I would be more likely, I think, to play that game on the Vita, on the go, or wherever, than I would on my TV at home. It's
funny because a couple people asked me today. Actually, this is our second topic, that there is no UMD Passport coming to North America. Well, what that means is a lot of people... One of the best new games that came out on the PSP was Peace Walker.
Yep.
And since if you have it on UMD and you live in the States, you can't transfer it over to your Vita. You're going to have to repurchase it or trade it in and get a new copy or whatever, but you won't be able to do it in any sort of official way.
Well, you're not a real fan if you only buy it once anyway, so I mean...
Well, yeah, I mean, it's Metal Gear Solid. But I mean, if you're in that situation where you might have to rebuy a Metal Gear Solid game, I mean, get the HD collection. Yep. Because it runs on your Vita and there's connectivity with your PS3.
I did not know that. What's the connectivity?
I'm pretty sure Peace Walker... you can transfer over your saves back and forth between the PS3 and the PSV.
That makes sense.
I don't think that functionality is there for the other two, but I know it is for Peace Walker. And I mean, if you're going to have to repurchase it anyway, I mean, it's the difference of only a couple bucks, and now you get 3 of the best Metal Gear games in HD.
Do you know when that's coming out? I looked briefly for a date. I did not see one.
I no longer know because they pushed it back originally. I'm not sure. It can't be that long from now.
The thing about it, okay, here's what sold me on it. I bought the Metal Gear Solid collection. I own 1, 2, 3, and 4. But when I heard that the rear touchpad on the PSV, like on the games where you're slitting guys' throats, you do it by reaching your hand around on the rear touchpad and making a slicing motion. That's all I had to know.
That is pretty badass.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then Frawlz also, if you want to raise your view, like you want to stretch and look up over something, you just reach around back and do the goatsy, and that causes him to raise his head.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So, you know what I mean by the goatsy, right? You grab you grab in the middle and then you pull apart on the back.
Oh, yeah, like stretch.
Yes. That's called the goatsy.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's see. The last thing I have here, we've talked about some of the augmented reality stuff on the PSV before, but they keep expanding what they're actually releasing with the PSV, so I just thought it was interesting to bring it up. If you buy a PSV, you get a voucher for, what do they call, an augmented reality suite. It now includes table soccer, fireworks, and cliff diver. I would say table soccer and cliff diver are actually games. Fireworks is just kind of it's a tech demo basically, but it's still really cool. And you get these for no additional cost. I think what comes in the box is like a deck of, 10 augmented reality cards, and I'm pretty sure the cards are multi-purpose, so the same card is usable in all of these augmented reality games, and it's just whatever card or whatever game you have loaded, it knows what to do with that card. But you need to go look on Google and look up Augmented Reality Suite PSV and check these out, because they're really slick. I'm pretty impressed.
Nice.
And now, Frawlz, it's the time for the rumors.
The rumors! Why? Could we change it up or no? Because it's the BigRedBarel podcast now. What do you want to do?
It doesn't look like there's an official date for when Metal Gear Solid HD is going to come out for Vita.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, this is only what it's rumors. Why are you screwing it up on me?
Okay, let's get to it then.
This is my time. This is the only part of the podcast you take seriously.
The first rumor.
Nobody cares about stupid Japanese games PacMan plays. Nobody hears about them and concerned about release dates.
You get mad at him for
talking
about something else, and you're still talking.
Holy shit, I need to get it for blowjobs now. Yeah. Twisted Metal.
Are you through yet?
Yes.
How many times have you been
I ran out of
asked
stuff
that?
to talk about. I don't know. I just winged that one.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Okay, so the people that were able to snag Super Stardust Delta before the launch, which means anybody that has it right now, in the US, if they look at their trophy list, number one, trophies on the PSV, yay, they might see something called Advanced Starfighter Pack listed, which indicates that there's DLC that has not been announced or referenced in any way. So,
Good, bad, yes.
I guess if you like the game, you got more content coming. So, it's not really a rumor, but it's not.
Yeah, that seems pretty legit.
It's not been officially sanctioned, so take it for what it is. I'm sure it's probably true. This next one, though, I'm not sure about. So we all know Mod Nation Racers is launching on the PSV. Mod Nation Racers on Tour, or whatever it's called. There's Destination PlayStation, I guess, is going on right now, or they're prepping for it or something. But somebody leaked some photos that looked awfully official to me of some marketing material for Little Big Planet karting. A kart racer from Little Big Planet.
That seems like something they'd put in Little Big Planet.
It does. Or a DLC pack or something.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a DLC pack or expansion or something.
But I don't know. Frawlz, what do you think?
It just seems, I don't know, those kart racing games just, I don't, I think they might be in it, but I think they might, I don't know. Yeah, not true. Not true.
No, I don't know. Yeah, it's not true.
It's not true. It's not
yes,
true.
it is
It's just
not
weird
true.
with Mod Nation Racers existing in the same landscape, and you know, it just, I just don't see it being its own separate game. At most, it's an expansion DLC pack.
Well, when I wrote the agenda, I hadn't thought of that, and that sounds much more feasible than a full-blown game. So I hope you're right, PacMan. Right. And I'm a sucker for Little Big Planet DLC, but I don't know if I'm going to be getting it for the PSV. Anyway, the next one, the rumor that won't die. This one also has to do with Destination PlayStation. Apparently, God of War 4 is expected to be announced at Destination PlayStation, which, if I think it's this week. It's this month. there's not a whole lot of them. I guess we're only a little over a week into the month, but I don't know. Do you guys think that there's any traction? This rumor keeps coming up from different sources. I think that there's getting to be more traction.
I think God of War is just such a lucrative brand that it's just a matter of time before we see another one. So yeah, I totally think it's true.
Frawlz?
I don't think it's going to be announced at that destination PlayStation, which I'm looking up right now, and it looks like it already happened.
Well, there's one every year.
But
maybe multiple times a year. It's basically where Sony goes. They get their big retailers, their GameStop guy, their Best Buy guy, their Amazon guy. They take all of them there and they show them what's coming up, and then those guys go off and leak
February
it.
6th to the 10th.
So it's going on right now.
Arizona. So right now, yeah, and no, I don't believe it's true. They're not going to announce it. That's such a big title; they would announce it.
Okay, I believe it's true.
You believe it's true?
Well, I believe they're being told about it. As far as an actual official announcement, I bet this week marks the week that gets leaked for real.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, that thing's going to be kept so far under wraps, and that's an E3 title right there.
All right, the next one. Killzone for the PS3 was announced already as an upcoming PS2 classic for the PS3. Now, that's Killzone 1, the original PS2 game. But for no reason whatsoever, it was recently, and I think this was yesterday or the day before, it was announced that it had been delayed indefinitely. No reason given at all. So, that part seems to be true. I mean, we didn't know it was coming. They said it was coming. We're like, oh, okay, cool, I guess. And now it's not coming. My question is, do you guys think that this could be part of some upcoming Killzone Trilogy collection, which I don't know if that makes sense since two of them are already on the PS3. But I think we've already discussed we wouldn't be surprised to hear a Killzone 4. Could this be a part of some bigger Killzone package? Frawlz, go.
No, I don't think so. I just think it got delayed because, I mean, you got other things they're working on, and just got delayed because.
Okay, PacMan, what do you think?
I think there's some truth to that. I could see them wanting to have a trilogy bundle that they could sell in prep for a new Killzone 4, or I could see them just delaying just to make the Killzone re-release better, or they got distracted by something else. But the reality is, you're going to see that Killzone game pop back up onto the store eventually. You just are. There's no way they're going to leave a one-off from one of their big-name franchises for that long.
I think so, too. I think if they are reworking it, I think it will be part of a trilogy. But my question is, as we get closer and closer, would Killzone 4 be a last hurrah on the PS3, or would it be a debut title for the PS4? I mean, I don't know.
Ooh.
But I think that I agree that we will see it. It's weird that we didn't know it was coming. It got announced and it got delayed. No reason for either one, but I think we will see it. Okay, the last rumor. Medal of Honor 2 is rumored to be announced next month. And considering 5 million copies of Medal of Honor sold, I don't think that's a big surprise.
Yeah, but I mean, the only Medal of Honor did as well as it did because they were really, really savvy on when they released it.
That was probably one of the smartest marketing things they've ever done. Yeah, it was definitely release it.
They were able to get in when people were really starting to get old, tired of playing the old shooters, and right before all the new big shooters came in to really sort of compete with them. But I never really enjoyed Medal of Honor, but I could totally see them making a new one.
I heard it's being released during Destination PlayStation. Tomorrow. Yeah,
all the major titles. Yeah, they're going to be. Tell the GameStop employees they're not going to say anything. You know what's funny is Medal of Honor actually played the same trick that they compete against the Madden games. You remember what was the title that competed against Madden back in the day? No, not 2K. Yeah, was it Football 2K or something, or what was it? I think it was by 2K Sports, right? They would always release a football game like a month before Madden, and then people would be gunning for a football game. They'd go out and get that instead. So,
well, I mean, you got to be smart on when you release your games. I mean, you can cripple your game sales by releasing something in a mistaken window. I think Rage, in particular, really should have reorganized when they were being released.
I need to go back and play that more.
But
Alrighty, well that is the rumors. We got to get to the shoutouts because we are right on schedule.
You got shoutouts.
I want to give a shout out to son of the. Is it Adi or Odie? I don't even know. It looks like Hottie without the H. Give a shout out to Quest78 and Brooksy068. Go check out the Big Red Barrel forums.
Yeah, check it out. You know what? Seriously, go sign up. You know what the cool part about the forum is that if you comment on something on the front page, it goes into the forum automatically.
Oh my god.
Pretty badass. I gotta admit, I'm pretty psyched about that feature because if you write an article and nobody...
I will comment on every video you post, Frawlz.
Yeah, me too.
You promise?
Yes.
All right. I would like to give a special thanks to Darth Nut Clench.
Darth Nut Clench, nice.
0_Requiem and maybe _Mike123. I feel like there should be a question mark. Maybe? I don't know, Mike.
You don't really have to say the underscore.
It's funnier when he does. But you left out the commas in between those names.
You didn't have a comma in Darth. I mean, an underscore. Or you just go.
Alright, I'd like to give a shout out to Seach, I think that's how you say it, Pendalicious, and Savage Chipmunk. And not this weekend, because I'm probably working, but next weekend on forward, we will be full tilt with the new BRB Gamer Nights. I fully expect Twisted Metal and Syndicate to both be on deck for Gamer Nights moving forward. So I look forward to playing with everyone in those games, and we will make sure that all the Gamer Night information will be posted on the dynamic calendar that we have on the front page of Big Red Barrel. So at any given time, you can just check the date and see what Gamer Night stuff we have going on. I'm sorry I haven't done it lately, but I lost my job, and then I got a new job, and then I lost my job, and then I got to get a couple more new jobs, and now I'm basically MacGyver, only I'm not really good at it.
Well, we got to say our goodbyes, though. So we will see you guys on BigRedBarel.com. Look for us on iTunes. And actually, if you type in Big Red Barrel, you'll find all of our podcasts there. So we will see you guys next week. And you know what? I will have big news next week that I cannot tell you yet, but it's not gaming related.
Man, I'm so happy we finally moved.
Frawlz in your mouth.
Stay frosty.
New Blue Show. It's not the old Blue Show. It's the New Blue Show. New Blue Show. It's not the old Blue Show. It's the New Blue Show. New Blue Show.
You and your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarel.com.